Good afternoon. Today's topic of discussion is going to be the 89138 Summerlin West Real Estate Market Pulse and Update for January 2014. This is Dale Snyder with the Snyder Group, team-driven real estate at Keller Williams Realty, your Summerlin West market experts. All right, so a summary of what we're going to be covering today. One is going to be the data of what we're seeing right now in 89138 and what you're going to be seeing in months to come from our group. You know, as we've always said, our goal is to help you keep a pulse on the market so whenever the time comes, whether it's today or in 5 years, 10 years, you have relevant information to know where the market's heading. So I'm excited to go over this data with you. Secondly, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the tools, and thirdly, what we're seeing in the market now and what we're projecting. So let's jump right in. So as far as the data, we broke it down into three categories: 250,000 and under, 250,000 to 500,000, and then 500,000 and up. All of this information is going to be supplied to you at the end of the video in the description below. So make sure to click on the links and look at the data here. It's fantastic information. For today, the quick summary I'm going to just give you is going to be a quick snapshot of each price point. So in the 250,000 and under, you'll see that our 90-day average for sales as of December, we're seeing about 5 or 6 homes per month sell. In the spring, when it was just really heating up and prices were going through the roof, it was about 15, 16 homes per month. We saw about a home a day sell last year as an overall for the zip code. I think 367 sales, so about a home a day is selling. If you look at the average sales price to list price in this price range, it's 102%. And if you look at the 90-day rolling average, it's about 102%. So very competitive in that price point. And the absorption rate, the average days, the average time it takes to absorb our inventory is 3.71 months supply. Remember, in the spring, we had about a 0.2, 0.4 month supply of inventory. Big change there. I'm going to tie this all together in a minute, so bear with me here. So in the $250,000 to $500,000 price range, the average, the 90-day rolling average of the amount of sales is about 20 homes per month, which this makes sense. The bulk of the zip code is in that $250,000 to $500,000 price point average, right? So the 90-day rolling average of list price to sales price, sellers are getting about 98% of the list price in this price point. So it's changing a little bit, right? Because the inventory's going up and the pricing is stabilizing. So the buyers know this as well, so they're able to negotiate a little bit more. Average absorption rate, 90-day rolling average, is a 3.25 month supply. So a little bit lower, but close to the 250,000 and under. Here's where it changes. When you go into the 500,000 and up price range, you'll see that the 90-day rolling average, we're seeing about 2 sales per month. The largest we saw as far as sales was back in August on the 90-day rolling average, where we saw 4.67 sell homes in the 90-day rolling average. The average list price to sales price on the rolling average is 96.67%. So close to the 250 to 500, but you have about a 3-4% negotiation. You'll look on the 90-day rolling average where you take it back several months, where you'll see the huge discrepancies. That's distressed. A lot of short sales and stuff really throwing those numbers off with that distressed inventory. Here's where there's the big difference. You look at the absorption rate. We have an 12-month supply of inventory in this price point. So if you're in that 500 plus price range, which is very few subdivisions, right? Well, more since prices have come up, but like Barrington, Serrano, Paradiso, a handful of others, some in like Las Lomas, Estancia, but just a handful of those subdivisions are really selling above that 500. There's the absorption rate's much higher. Sorry, I'm a little tongue twisted today. All right, so in summary here, as the months move on and as we keep tracking this data, the cool thing is going to be, we're going to be able to look at, hey, January of last year versus this January. What are we selling versus last year? What's our absorption rate? Because we're going to trend 90 days back. So it's really going to help you keep a pulse on what's going on in the market. You know, the data doesn't lie, right? So that's the most important thing we want to make sure we're getting out to you. So if you're not subscribed to our Summerlin West email newsletter, you know, just shoot us a quick email and say, hey, please add me to that newsletter because this content's going to go out once a month. And if you are ever going through our open houses, we have a lot of them in the zip code. Make sure to pop in and just talk to one of our sales agents and say, hey, you know, I want to make sure I'm getting this data. Can you add me to the newsletter? And we'll have hard copies of it in most of our open houses as well. Just ask for a copy of it. So, all right. Secondly here, if you have questions on any of that stuff, just reach out to me. Give me a call. I'd love to have an educated conversation. Secondly, let's go over tools real quick. SummerlinWestLiving.com. You can see it right here in the video. It'll also be in the description below. It's our website that we put together just for the homeowners. You know, we live in the area. We specialize in the area. My wife teaches at Givens. You know, so we want to make sure we've got a lot of good relevant information. So what's for sale in the zip code, you'll be able to find that there readily available. So make sure to check out SummerlinWestLiving.com. If there's anything you'd like to see that's not there, let me know. If there's any restaurant reviews that we don't have, or if you own a restaurant, make sure to reach out to me. We want to make sure that we're helping our community as a whole in the area. And very importantly as well, if you're a nonprofit, you know, we want to help you out. So reach out to us so we can help get that information out there. All right, and nextdoor.com. You know, I started that a while back for the zip code. So if there's some information on there that you feel should be shared or we should be featuring that, you know, please let me know because we really want to make this a community site for everybody. And thirdly, you know, I want to just give a quick pulse on the real estate market. So here's what we're seeing. Nationally, things are picking up. There's a lot of momentum, which impacts us in a positive sense. So we're going to see a lot of buyers in the market, a lot of transitional sellers and buyers, which you may be as well, thinking of selling your property, upsizing, downsizing. You know, there's a lot of that shifting going on right now. So if you're thinking about making a transition, make sure to reach out to me. We can get very strategic on how we can, you know, make that transition as smooth as possible, you know, with the selling and buying process, combining them both. And know that interest rates are projected to go up about a point this year. Now, I'm not going to go into details on why, but that's going to impact things and get more buyer urgency in the market. Most important thing to note if you are a seller, are considering selling. You know, inventory is going up, and the month supply of inventory is going to impact the buyer's mindset. There's not going to be as much urgency, or they're going to be coming to the table with more negotiations and wanting more items in the offer to be addressed by the seller, like more money for repairs, closing costs, stuff like that, because the market is shifting. So just be aware of that. But we expect a good, strong year. It's the year of the transitional buyer and seller. It's going to be a lot of that repeat business and a lot of millennials, you know, around the 30-year age group that are going to be getting into the marketplace. So I'm Dale Snyder with the Snyder Group, team-driven real estate at Keller Williams Realty, your Summerlin West market experts. If you like the video, make sure to like it, share our newsletter. Reach out to us. We want to make sure that we're getting the content out that you want and answering your questions. Have a fantastic day.